Hey kids, it's Aunt Molly. How are you? How was your day? It was weird for me. It's kind of a weird time, you know. What are you gonna do? I didn't want to do anything when I got up from bed this morning. First of all, I thought I had overslept and slept in so late. When I got up, I realized it was 7:43. Didn't sleep in at all. That was weird. That's like I usually wake up at 5, so that is sleeping in late for me. But anyway, I just wanted to make sure you guys were doing okay, and I wanted to read you some more of The Shadow by Hans Christian Andersen. It turns out I was kind of right. He was born in the early 1800s. I forget, like 1803 or something like that. But so kind of 1700-ish, 1800-ish, because the language is very old-fashioned to me. But still, it's an intriguing story. So I had a lot of trouble getting started today. And so, you know what I did? I got out a piece of paper and I got out a pen and I just wrote out a good old-fashioned to-do list. I got probably about half of what I wanted to accomplish done, but that doesn't matter. Oh, look, here's something I can mark off. Washed and dried my hair. Check. Check. I checked that off my list. Yeah. So, I made my bed. Check. Let's see. I did not get the laundry done. That's because I don't want to do it. I did make biscuits. I made beautiful biscuits. I should have brought them over here to show you, but I am not a great baker, but I read the directions. I followed the directions to the letter, and I timed the thing, and they turned out positively edible, which, you know, I'm not a baker at all, so that was just amazing. Anyway, okay, without further ado, we're going to get started on our story time. I just have a few crazy hats left, but I do think this is a funny one. Are you ready? Do you have a hat like this? It's kind of silly. Well, it's on the silly side. Whoop, whoop. Okay, hope it doesn't mess up my freshly washed hair. All right, my glasses. Check, check, check. Raggedy's gonna join us even though she's dusty and it kind of makes my throat go. But I'm gonna wash her, I promise. I just didn't want to do the laundry today. Didn't want to, but I got a lot of stuff done anyway. I'm proud of that. Whatever I got done, I'm proud of. It's such a weird time. If you get out of bed, I got dressed. I put on pants. I put on pants and everything and got fully dressed. I took my walk. I took my constitutional. So, you know, if you get anything done, you're doing good. So, yay for getting anything done today. It's also Monday, which does not feel like it. It feels like a Sunday. So that's kind of weird too. But anyway, enough talking. I'm going to go ahead and get going on the story. Are you guys ready for more of The Shadow? Okay. Okay. I'm ready. Marianne's ready. She's got me by my leash now, right here. All right. All right. So, as to the rest, the man was finely dressed. He must be a gentleman. Whom have I the honor of speaking? Whom have I the honor of speaking? I believe nowadays we would say with whom. Nobody would say that but me. But anyway, never mind. With whom have I the honor of speaking? Asked the learned man. Yes, I thought as much, said the fine man. I thought you would not know me. I have got so much body. I have even got flesh and clothes. You certainly never thought of seeing me so well off. Do you not know your old shadow? You certainly thought I should never more return. Things have gone on well with me since I was last with you. I have, in all respects, become very well off. Shall I purchase my freedom from service? If so, I can do it. And then he rattled a whole bunch of valuable seals that hung to his watch, and he stuck his hand in the thick gold chain he wore around his neck. Nay, how all his fingers glittered with diamond rings and pure gems. Nay, I cannot recover from my surprise. I'm backtracking a little. Sorry about that, but doesn't matter. We're just here to have fun. Doesn't matter. There's no mistakes to be had. It's just you and me and sharing a little reading together. That is all. Nay, how his fingers glittered with diamond rings, and then all were pure gems. Nay, I cannot recover from my surprise, said the learned man. What is the meaning of all this? Something common, is it not, said the shadow, but you yourself do not belong in the common order, and I, as you know well, have from a child followed in your footsteps. As soon as you found out I was capable to go out alone in the world, I went my own way. I am in the most brilliant circumstances, but there came a sort of desire over me to see you once before you die. You will die, suppose. For sure, I've read this before. Oh well. I also wish to see this land again, for you know we always love our native land. Yeah, I went home to Texas a month ago. It was nice to go home for a minute, but I'm happy in California though. I know you have got another shadow again. Have I anything to pay it to it or you? If so, you would oblige me by saying what it is. Nay, is it really thou? Asked the learned man. It is most remarkable. I never imagined that one's old shadow would come back again as a man. Tell me what I have to pay, said the shadow, for I don't like to be in any sort of debt. How canst thou talk so, said the learned man. What debt is there? See, that kind of sentence is what makes me think 1700s. Canst. How canst thou talk so? And thou also. How canst thou talk so, said the learned man. Oh, Raggedy, you're getting me with that dust. Wow. Sorry. How canst thou talk so, said the learned man. What debt is there to talk about? Make thyself free as anyone else. I'm extremely glad to hear of thy good fortune. Sit down, old friend, and tell me a little how it has gone with thee, and what thou hast seen at our opposite neighbors there in the warm lands. Yes, I will tell you all about it, said the shadow, and sat down. But then you must also promise me that wherever you may meet me, you will never say to anyone here in the town that I have been your shadow. I intend to get betrothed, for I can provide for more than one family. So that means he's going to get married. That's really weird. Anyway, moving on. Be quite at thy ease about that, said the learned man. I shall not say to anyone who thou actually art. Here is my hand, I promise it, and a man's bond is his word. And then they shook hands. A word is a shadow, said the shadow, and as such it must speak. It was really quite astonishing how much of a man it was. It was dressed entirely in black and of the finest cloth. It had patent leather boots and a hat that could be folded together so that it was a bare crown and brim, not to speak of what we already know it had, seals, gold neck chain, and diamond rings. And yes, the shadow was a well-dressed man, and it was just that which made it quite the man. Now I shall tell you my adventure, said the shadow, and then he sat with the polished boots as heavily as he could on the arm of the learned man's new shadow, which lay like a poodle dog at his feet. Now this was perhaps from arrogance, and the shadow on the ground kept itself so still and quiet that it might hear all that passed. It wished to know how it could get free and work its way up as to become its own master. Do you know who lived in our opposite neighbor's house, said the shadow. It was the most charming of all beings. It was Posy. I was there for 3 weeks, and that has as much effect as if one had lived 3,000 years and read all that was composed and written. That is what I say, and it is right. I have seen everything, and I know everything. Boy, that's quite a claim. Wow. Posy, cried the learned man. Yes, yes, she often dwells a recluse in large cities. Posy, or is it Poesy? Poesy. Somebody should help me with that pronunciation, because it is a Posey, Posy, but it's poesy. I think it has something to do with poetry. I don't know, because I don't think about stuff like that. But we'll learn. We'll figure it out together. Yes, Poesy. I have seen her a single short moment, but sleep came into my eyes. She stood on the balcony and shone as the aurora borealis shines. So she was like a star. Go on, thou wert in the balcony and went through the doorway, and then, And then I was in the antechamber, said the shadow. You always sat and looked over to the antechamber. There was no light, there was sort of a twilight, but the one door stood open directly opposite the other through a long row of rooms and saloons. And there it was lit up. It said lighted up, but that's not, well, we don't talk like that. Now, we don't say it was lighted up. We would say it was lit up if we were going to end a sentence with a preposition, which we would not do. That. Wait, I have to add a word there so I don't end a sentence with a preposition. We don't do that in modern times. I think. I should have been completely killed if I had gone over to the maiden, but I was circumspect. I took time to think, and that is what one must always do. And what did you see then? Asked the learned man. And now, we're at our 10 minutes. We're over our 10 minutes, and I just think that's all that you guys can stand of me. So, Raggedy, ooh, the dust, wow. Raggedy and I say bye. We'll see you next time, and you guys have a good night and sleep tight, okay? Good night.